All right, let's talk about it. The iPhone 17 Slim, the iPhone 17 Thin, or now what we're calling it, the iPhone 17 Air. I really did not want to make this video because I'm not interested in potential leaks or rumors. That stuff doesn't really excite me, and there's other channels and reporters out there that do this way better than me. However, I am making an exception to this rule because of the implication of what this all means. So from the offset, here's what this thing is supposed to theoretically, allegedly going to look like. It's going to be a 6.6 inch display. It's gonna have dynamic island, the 120 hertz refresh rate promotion, all that stuff. None of that stuff really actually matters. Let's look at the one thing that actually caught my attention and why I decided to even make this video, because I feel like we are missing an element here. It's this thing right here, this one camera system. What? Why? But before I dive into that, let's finish the specs real quick and why there's conflicting information here. Never mind the extremely thin design part. We get that part, okay? It's in the name, or at least the working name so far. It's gonna have a titanium design and a 24 megapixel front facing camera. All things rumored to be coming to the iPhone 17, but a single camera for the rear. Here's why this is weird, because for the last couple years now, we have had 4 iPhones come out every single year in unison. The base model iPhone, the iPhone Plus, the iPhone Pro, and the iPhone Pro Max, completely all different. And now we're getting reports that the base model iPhones, both the base model and the Plus, are the best selling iPhones out of the lineup. I wonder why. I like this thing. But I'm weird, I'm different. I don't like spending $1,000. I don't care about all that other stuff, but I like saving money and I like not being software locked, so I got this phone for very specific reasons. Otherwise, if I wasn't software locked, I would have stayed with the 15 base model. But anyways, beyond that, the iPhone 17 Air is supposed to take the place out of one of these 4 phones. Now, which one would that be? Rumor has it, it's the Plus model, because even though the base model is the best-selling iPhone, the Plus, not so much. Which is interesting because it does give you a better battery, bigger screen real estate, all the things that people look for when they want big phones, and they feel like there's a compromise here. So the rumor is the Air is taking the place of that. But why would they do that? Because the Air is going to be taking a hit in the battery department. So now it's addressing a different issue, which is the Plus size and the Pro Max size are just too big. So how do we fix something that's just too big in size? We make it lighter. And how do you make it lighter? You make it thinner. So now the iPhone 17 Air is addressing all those issues, but again, let's go back to that camera. Why is that the only phone that's gonna get a single lens camera? The only other phone in the entire Apple lineup that does this is the iPhone SE. And all rumors, which again, I really don't care about, is all pointing towards that the SE4 is gonna have the shape and the body of an iPhone 14. So we're gonna go from a 2 camera system to a 1 camera system to a 3 camera system to a 3 camera system for the Pro Max again. That just doesn't make sense to me. But what else is Apple working on? There's been rumors for a long time now that they wanted to focus on making a foldable. Now that right there starts to make a little bit more sense to me. Make a very thin phone, 1 camera system, make it very unique from all the others. And why would it be so thin? Because when it folds, it starts to get a little bit thicker. It's still lighter. It still has all the base features that would come from those base model iPhones. But if it had a titanium build, now we're starting to blur the line with these Pro models. And now all the models are rumored to have ProMotion and always on display. What if this iPhone Air is the prelude to making a foldable iPhone? Now, I don't think this particular iPhone is going to be the foldable iPhone, but I think we're now starting to see the groundworks be laid for that phone. Now, what if, and this is a weird hypothetical, okay, and I'll be the first one to say it, but what if every iPhone now going forward is being fragmented? Out of those 4 iPhones, for the longest time, it was base model, Pro model, 2 different sizes. That's what it was working with. But what if we now fragment those even more to give you more of an option, because now they're all going to have ProMotion and always on display. Okay, aluminum, still base model, titanium, upper model, but unless you're talking about that Air, which looks like it might come with titanium, I don't know. What if we make the base model just the barrier entry, the best phone, the phone I love using, and that just stays as is because screens are getting bigger anyway. So this would eventually take the place of a future plus size. You make this new plus size this very thin, unique one, and it gets all the weird quirks of it all. The most experimental, since it's not the best selling. Then you're back on the Pro model, which gives you the 3 camera array and all this other stuff that you might have interest in, but you want the smaller size. And then the Pro one gets everything thrown at it. I mean, we're talking all the stuff that you would want offloaded from Apple Vision Pro, things that could do all this weird AI stuff. I don't know. I'm just freestyling here. But my point is, what if we separate those 4 phones even more so than we do right now? Because really, it's just divided by 2, base model, Pro model, and then pick your size. I still have a hard time having this Air model fit in that lineup, but the Plus model is the weakest selling one. So if one's gotta go so they can drive the sales, that's the one to knock off, and it makes sense. Because again, this is going to be a 6.6 inch display, bigger than the base model. My biggest takeaway from all of this is that we're seeing the groundwork be laid right now in front of our very eyes of a future foldable phone. And this iPhone 17 Air is going to be that. Eventually. And it's not going to be the, book foldable one. It's going to be the flip kind, because that apparently is more desirable, more compact, more nostalgia for people who had flip phones. I think ultimately what's going to happen is we're going to have to get weird with iPhones either way, because they're all plateauing, because they're all really great. All phones, not just iPhone, but all smartphones. So this is the time to kind of experiment. But am I wrong? Am I crazy? What do you guys think? Thank you to all my channel members for supporting all of this, and thank you to all of you for giving me your time. And now let's take it to the comments and let's talk about it more, because I'm at a standoff here. I find this whole thing a little too weird. But again, I don't cover leaks and rumors because I don't really care. But this one feels off, but for all the right reasons. What do you think?